Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the clutch plate off, and we're gonna pull the throwout bearing. We ended up having to order the throwout bearing. It literally just came in a couple days ago. Not the throwout bearing, excuse me, the pilot bearing. I talked to the previous owner, and he did say that he brought the flywheel to the machine shop the last time he serviced the transmission and had it shaved down. We were noticing that you had to press the clutch all the way to the floor. So I'm gonna say I think these guys might have shaved too much off that flywheel. A bunch of parts of the pilot bearing in there. Alright, we're going to see if we can get all these parts out and drive this race out, and we'll be right back. So I had to pull the flywheel out the truck. We didn't have a puller to get that out, and I'm just going to lay it down on the table here and just drive it out from the back side with a punch. Lay the new one in there and tap it right in. Alright, so this is the Dorman bearing that we ordered from AutoZone, and this is a bull plug. I'm just going to lay that new bearing right in there, and then you just tap it right in with that bull plug. The bull plug's a little bit bigger than the hole, so it's going to keep it from going all the way through. Alright, we'll put it back in the truck. So whenever we drop the transmission out, as soon as the motor rock, the flex joint right here tore, I was at home by the time I sit there and look this up. So I just looked up the pipe size online, and I ordered this pipe. This is the wrong size. It's like a hot dog in a hallway going over the original exhaust. It will, however, fit on the flanges for the old pipe. So I'm actually going to spray this down with crawl, let it soak for a little bit. I'm going to bust it all loose. I'm going to bring it to the chop saw, cut it off. Then I'll bring it back over here, and I'll get it tacked in place so that it's clocked. And I'm going to drop the whole assembly off and then weld it off the truck so that we can be sure we get a good seal up. Got the exhaust manifold. This is the lower half of the manifold off, and I just got it loaded up in the bandsaw. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the old flex tube off. gonna sandblast those up, get them all cleaned up and ready to weld. All right, we're about to put the flywheel back in. Look, if you don't have a vibratory parts cleaner, it's just a little vibrating bowl you put sand in. I threw them bolts in there for 45 minutes or something while we were doing some other stuff. They get real nice. Just clean them up with some Borsol or something in the parts washer and dry them off, throw them in the vibratory tumbler, and it all looks nice. Still got ball bearings in there. I pulled this back off, and there's a little drill spot where they balance the crank on the back, and I just looked for that alignment mark and then got those three started. So I'm just going to drive these three in equally, and the crank the flywheel kind of presses on the crank a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and get that situated down, and then we'll pull it and put some blue Loctite. And this is just a 5/16 impact, so I'm not torquing it down a whole lot. It's just more to put it on there. It don't matter if you use Loctite or some other type of anaerobic fluid. I highly recommend to use the blue. It is the weakest, and this just keeps these bolts from backing out. My first Mitsubishi I ever bought was in 1987, and the guy that I bought it from evidently didn't tighten the bolts up at all, and they came out on me a couple of times. I got tired of pulling the transmission and started putting a little bit of blue Loctite on it whenever you put it back together. This is the only bolts that I Loctite. Transmission case bolts don't need it. I'm gonna go grab a torque wrench and torque those bolts down, and then we'll slap the pressure plate and the clutch disc in. One more. It's done. So that's a clutch alignment tool. It's a Dorman part from AutoZone. This is actually not the clutch to this truck. This is a clutch for a turbo Dodge Colt. It's just got 6 springs instead of 4, like the clutch the truck. Alright, so I'm just looking at the pins here. One pin here. Pin there.
I hate the way men are
Alright, we gotta go grab the torque spec for that, and we'll torque these down and slap transmission in. Alright, so these are 14. Transmission in. All the bolts are torqued in. Alright, I gotta put the drive shaft, the shifter, and weld the exhaust back up. Put some oil in it, and we're ready to go. Time to make it permanent. Alright, so we got everything together. I know you're not supposed to put it in the gear shifter. I've been doing this for 25 years and never had a problem. You stick the oil, the gear oil, in a hot bucket of water. You get it nice and lubricated and just pour it in nice and slow and be sure that it don't overflow as you're pouring it. Never had an issue. I know I'm going to get a bunch of comments in the bottom. It says you're supposed to replace the rear main seal and you're supposed to replace the clutch plate and everything. Again, I don't need this truck to last much longer, and I'm going to be rebuilding this transmission because it's going into another project truck. This is just to get it by so we can use the truck while we're doing other things. So this is my way of doing it. If you don't like it, do it your way. Truck takes 1.9 liters. That equates to 2 quarts. Don't use GL5, it'll eat the synchronizers. Use regular gear oil. Alright, that's it. We put the shifter back in and we're taking it for a test drive. Alright, so we didn't get the drive shaft done. I ended up having to use a spare drive shaft because O'Reilly sold me the wrong U-joints. We got some more coming in. I am also probably going to try to order the original ones that we had. The truck is running. We do have an exhaust leak. You probably heard that whenever we were pulling out where the flange meets the manifold at, one of the bolts were ate up real bad. So after I got done welding the new flex joint in there, I put that together with no gasket. I am going to get some more studs. Tomorrow's Labor Day, so everywhere I can get studs is closed. So I will get some more studs. We do have the gasket. We'll put the gasket in there. Other than that, hope everybody enjoys the video. Thanks for watching.